Enroll your child for the Manifested e-learning platform and see their grades grow tremendously. These videos can be downloaded to a laptop for offline viewing or viewed from a smartphone in a cost-friendly format.
Hello and welcome back, learners. This lesson is a continuation of the lesson that we had last time, where we were discussing the external environmental factors that affect businesses, and we discussed the competitors, customers, suppliers, political factors, legal factors. Then at the end of that lesson, I gave you the assignment. You're supposed to explain explain the 3 ways in which competition may affect a business. 2, discuss how political factors may influence the operations of a business. It's my hope that the assignment is done. This was assignment for the last lesson, and the topic is business and its environment. The subtopic is external environment. This lesson is a continuation of that lesson. So I want to discuss the other factors, external environmental factors. So the 6th factor is the economic factors. Economic factors. Economic factors. Economic factors. Now, these are factors that influence the entire economy of a country. A business will need to monitor trends in the economy, as changes may affect its operations. For example, changes in the level of prices in the economy, the changes in interest rates, the changes in inflation, okay? All this will affect the cost of products and also the cost of doing business. So performance of the economy, learners, and stability of the currency will always affect the price of goods and services that consumers are willing to buy and able to buy. Okay? Therefore, the changes in the needs and wants of consumers and the level of incomes of consumers will plays a very big role in determining the operations of the business, because we are saying the changes in inflation and so on will affect again the behavior of consumers depending on the incomes of the consumers. So business activities in an economy may also be affected by the availability of such projects or infrastructure that is put in place by the government. Okay? Business activities in the economy may be affected by government investments in projects like roads, railways, communication, and so on. Because the government, at a general level, the government may build roads, may build railway systems and communication systems that will have an impact on business activities. Learners, again, the government on a national level may build roads, railway lines, communication systems. That is now looking at the economy in general or at a national level. When the government does that, then that will have a positive effect on business activities. So when you are running a business, it's important to look at the general economic environment. The general economic environment. We mentioned the interest rates, inflation rates, and the incomes of customers or consumers, and government expenditure on projects like roads, projects like railway, projects like communication systems, and so on. So that again, all that is what we are referring to as economic factors. Economic factors. These are economic factors. Then we have social-cultural factors. Social-cultural factors. Social-cultural factors. Social-cultural factors. Social-cultural factors. These are factors that are based on people's beliefs, people's values, attitudes, opinions, lifestyles, and so on. And they may be determined by culture. These factors may be determined by the culture of the people, religion, level of education, age, ethnic background, and so on. So if these factors change, okay, then people's tastes and preferences may also change. All right. For example, people in, say, rural areas may start to have the same taste in clothing as those in big towns due to the influence of urbanization. Okay, influence of urbanization. When I was growing up as a young man, we're talking about clothing. There are some clothes that were not worn in the villages. Today, due to urbanization, people wear clothes that are worn in urban centers. Okay, so that is change. We are talking about change. So if you are in business of offering clothes, so and there is demand for these clothes that are worn in urban areas, in rural areas, then you see you also need to change, okay, so that you don't supply clothes that are no longer worn in the villages. So we are saying if these factors change, if the tastes and preferences of consumers change, then the business has also to change so as to meet the new needs of the customers. So learners, these socio-cultural factors. Socio-cultural factors. Socio-cultural. This is one word. Socio-cultural factors. These are factors that are based on beliefs, values, attitudes, opinions, and lifestyles of the people. And they are determined by culture. Culture means the way we do things, okay? They are also determined by religion. These social-cultural factors can also be determined by education. There's a way in which education shapes people to behave in a certain way. The social-cultural factors may also be affected by age. We mentioned ethnic background and so on. So we said if these factors change, then people's tastes and preferences will also change. Preferences means what people prefer in terms of goods and services. If you're offering goods that people are no longer buying, then it means the preferences have changed. So we say that if people's preferences change, then you need to also change the products that you produce and services. So, but you cannot change if you are not monitoring the environment, if you are not checking to see what is happening in the external environment. You need to remember we talked about research and development in our previous lessons. You need to do market research. Continuously scan the environment to see if there are any changes so that you can also adjust to meet customers' needs. To meet customers' needs. These are sociocultural factors. Another factor, learners, is technological factors. Technological factors. Technological factors. Technological factors. What is technology? Technology is the application of scientific knowledge in performing work. It is the application of scientific knowledge in performing work. So a business has to consider the technological factors influencing its operations. If you are in education industry, you need to check what are the new technologies arising in that industry. If you are in manufacturing, you need to check what are some of the new machines or methods that are being used in manufacturing products. This is because technology can radically change the way goods are produced and services are provided. For example, with the advent of the internet and the new gadgets, the mobile phones, the applications, and so on, such changes have radically revolutionized the way we do things, the way we offer our services, the way we offer products, and so on. At the same time, this technology can lead to reduction in costs and improved goods and services. So technological developments can lead to creation of new markets through adoption of what we call e-commerce, electronic commerce. And this allows businesses to operate without borders, right? E-commerce allows people to transact online. Today, a buyer in Kenya can purchase goods in US and make payment instantly, and that is what we are referring to as e-commerce. So this allows business to operate without borders. Without borders. Businesses, including individuals, are able to buy or sell goods and services over the internet. Over the internet. Even yourself, we are reaching you through the internet. Okay? I no longer need to come to your house to do physical tuition. Why? Because of the internet. You can now get my services while seated at the comfort of your home. So a business should take advantage of the technological developments that may improve its operations. And I think that's what Manifested Publishers are doing. They're able to prepare the products so that they can reach people over the internet. So that's technological factors. There's a lot that we can say about technology and how and why a business should scan the external environment to determine to understand how it operates, to determine the emerging technologies that will help the business to offer different goods or to improve the service delivery and to improve the existing products. So the adoption of technology may bring with it problems, learners. However, the adoption of technology may bring with it problems like disruptions brought about by breakdown of equipment, mass layoffs. Those are problems, and mass layoffs of staff due to lack of necessary skills, okay, and so on. We have in other countries where staff are being laid off because robots are performing tasks that were initially performed by people. So those are some of the adverse effects of technologies. But a business, when running a business, is important for the business owners to scan the technological environment. I've explained reasons why that should happen. Then lastly, we want to discuss the physical factors. Physical factors. Physical factors. Physical factors. This is the last factor. Physical factors. What are these physical factors? Physical factors. Learners, the operations of certain businesses are heavily affected by what exists in nature. For example, businesses dealing in agricultural produce depend heavily on the existence of appropriate weather and climate. So an unexpected change in these natural conditions may negatively affect the business. That is the climate, okay, the weather, and so on. For example, harvesting of tea, coffee, maize, and so on in Kenya are greatly affected by what we call incidents of frosts, which damage tea and coffee plantations. So some governments may also, other than these factors, the government may also pass protective laws that limit the availability or the availability of these resources, or the ability of businesses to exploit natural resources such as minerals, forests, and so on. The government can put laws in place that limit logging, cutting of trees, or exploiting certain natural resources. So if you are in an industry where you depend highly on natural resources like trees as a source of raw material, you see that again will negatively affect the business. So such laws are aimed at protecting natural resources. When the government puts in place such laws, the purpose is to protect natural resources and the inhabitants of surrounding areas. Okay, so but businesses that face such restrictions would find it very difficult to remain in operation. So you see, this is an external environmental factor which the business may not have control over. When the government passes law, then you have no option but to obey. The government says there is no mining in a certain area, then you can't mine because of the government's interest is to protect, in such a matter, is to protect such resources. So these are physical factors. I've mentioned the weather, I've mentioned the climate, and so on. Climates are not constant. They do change because of certain factors like global warming and so on. So those are physical factors. So learners, we have discussed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 external business environmental factors. These are factors that business may not have control over, but yet they influence the operations of the business, either negatively or positively. So the first one is competition. Number 2, customers. Number 3, suppliers. Number 4, political factors. Number 5, legal factors. Number 6, economic factors. Number 7, sociocultural factors. Number 8, technological factors. Then lastly, number 9, physical factors. So I want you to go through this video together with the previous video, because we have discussed these factors in two lessons. Under political factors, we discussed 3 points: government policies, the political situation in the country, and government regulations. Government regulations. So, learners, is there any question? If you have any question, learners, don't shy away from asking questions. Our work is to teach and answer questions. Below this video, there is a comment section where you can post your questions. On our website, which is being displayed now on your screen, you can go sign in, then send your question. We will gladly answer all your questions. Now, I want to give you an assignment because that's what we always do. At the end of every lesson, we give assignments. That will help you revise what we have covered. I'm repeating, learners. I said it in previous lessons. At the end of every lesson and during the lesson, make sure you write notes for your revision. Okay? To revise is to review, to go through work that has been done. You need a record of what you have learned. After you've done that, then you need to be attempting the questions at the end of every lesson. Like in this lesson, I'm going to write the questions here on the board, which I expect you to do. The questions are meant to help you cement, to reinforce what you have learned. So here is the assignment. Questions. These are questions. Question number one. Discuss the view that technological innovations have powerful influences on business operations. Let me write the question for your record. Question 1, let me write it. Discuss the view that technological innovations have powerful influences on business operations. 2, discuss 5 benefits a business person may derive from use of the internet. Three, discuss 3 economic factors which may influence a business. 3 questions. Question 1, discuss the view that technological innovations have powerful influences on business operations. Discuss. 2, discuss 5 benefits a business person may derive from the use of the internet. Number 3, discuss 3 economic factors which may influence a business. These are things that we have discussed in these lessons. Thank you for being attentive, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.
CPA students can now access top-notch lecturers anytime from anywhere. Download CPA video lectures from www.manifestedpublishers.com.
Manifested Publishers Limited is a research and teaching center that specializes in the production of learning materials and private online tuition for primary, secondary, tertiary, and university education. Sign up as a new customer at www.manifestedpublishers.com. Fill in the required credentials, full name, email, phone number, and password. Click on Sign Up. Enter the code received on your phone or email address for verification of your account, then proceed by clicking on Confirm button. Your account is ready for use and you can watch some free videos before you purchase. To get access to complete videos, use the following steps to buy. Click on View All Courses. Select the course you want to subscribe to. Click on the subject you want. Click on Buy this subject. The selected subject will be added to cart. Place or hover the cursor on cart or total amount and click on Checkout Now to proceed. Click on Lipa na M-Pesa and proceed to pay. To access your lessons, place the cursor on your name, then click on Subscriptions. To download videos for offline studying, click on Watch Offline. Download the Manifested e-learning desktop application depending on your computer operating system. Install the application on your computer. Sign in on your downloaded app using the credential used during registration. Place your cursor on your name, then click on Subscriptions. Click on the subject you purchased. On the top right window, click on Download for offline viewing. Click on Go to Course. In your new window, click on the first topic, Lesson 1. Downloading process begins automatically. Thank you for choosing to study with us. For more information, you can call us on 0724 173845.